The freezer was empty. I stood there at 2 a.m., my engorged breasts aching, my 3-month-old daughter Amelia crying in her bassinet, staring at the space where 40 ounces of pumped breast milk should have been. 40 ounces I painstakingly collected over 2 weeks, pumping every 3 hours while working from home, storing each precious bag labeled with dates and times. Gone. Mom, I called out, trying to stay calm despite the panic rising in my throat. Where's Amelia's milk? She appeared in the kitchen doorway in her silk pajamas, looking annoyed at being woken. Behind her, I could hear my 24-year-old sister Sophia cooing at something in the living room. Oh, that. We used it for Princess Buttercup, Mom said casually, as if she hadn't just destroyed 2 weeks of my body's work. You? What? My voice came out strangled. Sophia read that breast milk is great for puppies' immune systems. Princess Buttercup has been having tummy troubles, and the vet bills are astronomical. This was a natural solution. I couldn't breathe. Princess Buttercup was Sophia's new teacup Yorkie, a $3,000 impulse purchase she made last month. A dog that wore designer clothes and had its own Instagram account with 20K followers. That was Amelia's FOG'd. I shouted, no longer caring about waking anyone. My baby's food. Dad wandered in, scratching his belly. What's all the noise? They gave my breast milk to Sophia's dog. He shrugged. The puppy needs nutrients. Formula exists. Jasmine, stop being selfish. Selfish. I was selfish for wanting to feed my human baby instead of my sister's vanity pet. Formula is expensive, I said through gritted teeth, and Amelia doesn't tolerate it well. She's been exclusively breastfed. Then make more milk, Mom interrupted. It's free from your body, right? Just pump again. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. But they'd never understood. When I'd moved back home after my husband Ryan died in a car accident 7 months pregnant, they treated my grief and my baby as inconveniences. Sophia's dog got a nursery renovation. My daughter and I got the moldy basement. Amelia's cries escalated. She was hungry. My breasts were ready to feed her, but she'd been having latch issues, which is why I'd been pumping. The frozen stash was supposed to be our backup, our security. I rushed to feed her directly, but she struggled, crying harder. My stress was affecting my letdown reflex. She latched and unlatched, getting more frustrated, more hungry. See. Sophia appeared, cradling her puppy like a baby. Princess Buttercup is doing so much better after her breast milk bottle. Her coat is shinier already. I wanted to scream. Instead, I grabbed my keys. The 24-hour pharmacy had 1 can of the special formula Amelia could tolerate. 1 can. $38. I had $43 in my checking account until my work-from-home paycheck cleared in 5 days. I bought it. Amelia fought the bottle at first. She'd only had formula twice before, both times resulting in painful gas and projectile vomiting. But she was hungry enough to drink. By 6 a.m., the vomiting started. By 8 a.m., she was lethargic. By 10 a.m., I was in the ER. Severe dehydration, the pediatrician said, looking at me with poorly concealed judgment. What happened to her regular feeding schedule? I explained, my voice hollow. The doctor's expression shifted from judgment to horror. They gave human breast milk to a dog, she repeated slowly, while your infant went hungry. The puppy needed nutrients, I said bitterly, parroting my father's words. Ma'am, this is medical neglect. I'm required to report this. Good. Let her report it. I was too tired, too broken to care about family dynamics anymore. Amelia spent 2 days in the pediatric ward, hooked to IVs for hydration. 2 days of me sleeping in a chair, pumping to rebuild my supply, crying every time I looked at her tiny arm taped with tubes. My parents didn't visit. They were too busy with Sophia's puppy influencer photo shoot. But Sarah visited. My best friend since high school, now a family law attorney. She took one look at the situation and said the words that changed everything. You know Ryan had life insurance, right? I did know. A small policy through his work. Enough to cover funeral expenses and a few months of bills. What I didn't know was that Ryan had another policy. A big one. One he'd taken out when I got pregnant, naming me as beneficiary. His mother has been trying to contact you, Sarah explained. But your parents kept saying you weren't ready to talk. Jasmine. It's $1 million policy. $1 million. I've been living in a moldy basement, rationing formula, begging for basic respect, while $1 million waited for me. There's more, Sarah continued. Ryan's family wants to help. They've been worried sick, but didn't want to overstep since you were with your parents. They have a mother-in-law suite, empty, waiting for you and Amelia. I started sobbing, not sad tears, angry tears, relieved tears. My parents had isolated me, made me believe I had nowhere else to go, no other options, all while treating my daughter as less valuable than a dog. But first, there was something else to handle. See, Princess Buttercup's Instagram account was monetized. Sophia made decent money from sponsored posts. What she didn't know was that using human breast milk for dogs was illegal in our state. Not just unethical, illegal. Bodily fluids couldn't be used for animals without proper medical channels. And I had evidence. So much evidence. Sophia had posted about Princess Buttercup's special nutrition boost on her stories. She literally filmed herself feeding my breast milk to the dog, bragging about the organic free-range solution to puppy digestive issues. 20,000 followers saw it, including several mandated reporters. The knock came while I was still in the hospital with Amelia. Animal control, CPS, the police. The investigation was swift. The Instagram videos were evidence of both animal endangerment, yes, human breast milk can be harmful to dogs, and child neglect. My parents were charged with endangering a minor. Sophia was charged with animal abuse and theft of bodily fluids, apparently a real crime. But I wasn't done. While they dealt with legal issues, I met with Ryan's parents. The Johnsons were everything my family wasn't: warm, supportive, devastated they'd been kept from their granddaughter. They prepared the mother-in-law suite months ago, hoping I'd come. We didn't want to pressure you, Ryan's mother, Linda, said through tears. Your parents said you needed space. We thought we were respecting your wishes. I moved out while my parents were at their arraignment, took everything that was mine, which wasn't much. Left a note: formula exists, find your own roof. The $1 million life insurance changed everything. I paid off Ryan's medical bills from the accident, set up Amelia's college fund, bought a small house near the Johnsons, close enough for daily grandparent visits, far enough for independence. But the real revenge came from an unexpected source. Dr. Martinez, the pediatrician who treated Amelia, was married to a local news anchor. The story of parents feeding breast milk to a dog while a baby starved, it went viral. Not just local, national. Sophia lost every sponsorship within 48 hours. Turns out, brands don't want to be associated with people who prioritize puppies over babies. Her Instagram was flooded with outraged mothers. She had to make her account private, destroying her influencer career. My parents became pariahs. Mom was asked to leave her book club. Dad's golf buddies suddenly had scheduling conflicts. Their church congregation whispered. The neighborhood association got complaints. They tried to spin it, posted about how they were just trying to help both babies. The comment section destroyed them. Screenshots of Sophia's videos spread across parenting groups, dog lover forums, and medical professional pages. Everyone was horrified. The legal consequences were severe. They got probation for child endangerment, but the civil suit was what broke them. I sued for the value of the breast milk. Yes, it has monetary value. About $3 per ounce, the medical bills from Amelia's hospitalization and emotional distress. The judgment was $50,000. They had to sell their car to pay it. Sophia had to rehome Princess Buttercup. The court deemed her unfit for animal ownership. The puppy went to a family that promised never to feed it human bodily fluids. Sophia ugly cried through the whole proceeding. But the universe saved the best for last. Ryan's employer reached out. There'd been a clerical error. Ryan's life insurance wasn't $1 million. It was $2 million. The additional $1 million had been held up in paperwork. It cleared the same week my parents' house went into foreclosure. They'd mortgaged it to pay for Sophia's various business ventures, all failed influencer schemes. I could have helped them. I had $2 million. I could have saved their house, paid their legal fees, made it all go away. Instead, I bought their house at the foreclosure auction. Cash. Then I donated it to a nonprofit that provides housing for single mothers escaping abusive situations. Mothers who need a safe place where their baby's food won't be stolen for dogs. The opening ceremony was beautiful. We converted my old basement room into a playroom for children. The room where Princess Buttercup had her nursery became an actual nursery for human babies. My parents' master bedroom was turned into a lactation support center, complete with industrial breast pumps and freezers for milk storage. I named it Amelia's house. My parents had to drive by it every day from their studio apartment to their court-mandated community service. Had to see the sign. Had to watch other families thrive in the space where they'd valued a dog over their granddaughter. Sophia works at a pet store now, not a fancy one, the kind that's part of a big box chain. She's not allowed to have social media as part of her probation. Every time someone recognizes her as the breast milk puppy girl, she has to explain, has to relive her humiliation. My parents work too. Mom stocks shelves at a grocery store. Dad does night security. They can't retire. All their savings went to legal fees and failed attempts to salvage their reputation. They sent one letter, 6 months later. Not an apology. They still insisted they'd done nothing wrong. Just complaints about how I'd overreacted and ruined their lives over a little milk. I had that letter framed. It hangs in my office at the nonprofit I started with the rest of the insurance money, an organization that provides free breast pumps, lactation support, and freezer storage for mothers who can't afford them. We've helped thousands of families. Every time a mother cries with relief because she can feed her baby, I think about that night, standing at an empty freezer, my daughter hungry, my parents choosing a dog. They chose a puppy over their granddaughter. So I chose to build something from their cruelty. Chose to ensure no other mother would stand at an empty freezer, desperate and alone. Amelia is 2 now, thriving, meeting every milestone. She calls Linda grandma and spends weekends learning to bake cookies and tend gardens. She's surrounded by love, real love, not the conditional kind that ranks you below a teacup Yorkie. Last week we were at the park when I saw my mother. She was sitting alone on a bench aged 10 years and 2, watching families play. She saw us. Saw Amelia toddling around, giggling, calling mama, as she shoved me a dandelion. Our eyes met. For a moment, I saw something that might have been regret. Might have been realization of what she'd thrown away for her golden child's whims. Then Amelia tumbled into my arms, and I turned away. We had somewhere to be. The Johnson family Sunday dinner, where my daughter would be treasured, celebrated, chosen. Where her food would never, ever go to a dog. They had no idea what was coming next. Neither did I that night at the empty freezer. But desperation and a mother's rage are powerful motivators. They gave my baby's food to a puppy. In return, I gave their house to mothers who understood that babies come first. Always. Seems fair to me. The milk was just the beginning. The real loss was the granddaughter they'll never know, the family they demolished for Instagram likes and a dog's shiny coat. Hope Princess Buttercup was worth it. Spoiler, she wasn't.